Are there secrets so profound they've remained hidden for centuries, concealed beneath the layers of tradition and history, awaiting the perfect moment to surface? Picture a piece of ancient wisdom, a teaching that might have belonged to early Christianity, yet was quietly erased through councils and imperial decrees. What if I told you that reincarnation, this idea that our souls live multiple lifetimes, could once have been woven into the very fabric of the Bible? Today, we embark on a quest through forgotten corridors of the past, studying ancient manuscripts and pivotal events that shaped the Christian faith. Could it be that such a sweeping and universal truth was intentionally silenced? Open your mind and heart, and join me in uncovering this mystery. Was reincarnation intentionally excluded from the Bible? To understand how reincarnation might have intersected with early Christianity, we must first travel back to antiquity, to civilizations older than Christ himself. By the time Jesus walked the earth, the notion of the soul's return was already alive in temple scrolls, the whispered knowledge of sages, and the esoteric rites of initiates. In Egypt's desert sands, guarded by silent pyramids, priests upheld the belief that death was merely a threshold, an interval leading from one phase of existence into another. Egypt's Book of the Dead details how souls journey and receive judgment, potentially returning in a new body or dwelling in spiritual realms. This perspective frames the soul as a wanderer, returning again and again until it attained balance. Far to the east, along the banks of the sacred Ganges, another angle on reincarnation thrived. Composed around 1500 BCE, India's Vedic texts introduced samsara, the ceaseless flow of birth, death, and rebirth. According to these teachings, this cycle continues until the soul sets itself free from earthly attachments, achieving moksha, an eternal liberation. Their philosophy is straightforward. What you do in this life, your karma, plants seeds for future existences, creating a learning journey that ends only in enlightenment. In ancient Greece, the concept of reincarnation took on an especially nuanced character. The mathematician and philosopher Pythagoras taught that the soul is immortal, passing through multiple bodies in a series of lives. He viewed life as a cosmic lesson plan, allowing souls to ascend through ever-increasing levels of purity. Pythagoras believed the universe was governed by a divine pattern, and the process of reincarnation enabled the soul to align itself with that pattern. Plato, another titan of Greek thought, echoed these convictions. In works like Phaedo, he relays Socrates' perspective that souls undertake a cyclical quest of returning to earth until they are spiritually refined. Every one of these traditions upheld reincarnation not merely as a theoretical possibility, but as a crucial mechanism for self-improvement and moral development. In light of how widespread this belief once was, a natural question arises. If countless cultures accepted reincarnation as central to the human journey, how then did Christianity, at least in its modern guise, arrive at a point of rejecting it? Or did the religion's earliest followers initially hold a different view? In the centuries right after Christ's crucifixion, Christianity was far from monolithic. Different communities preserved their own traditions of Jesus' message. There was no single Bible, no formal hierarchy dictating the correct path. What did exist was a fervent quest for the divine, an eagerness to comprehend our place in the cosmos. As the Roman Empire expanded and Christianity took root, believers navigated spiritual landscapes that diverged sharply from later official doctrines. It was an age of exploration and synthesis. where eternal truths often transcended the boundary of one life. Many early Christians believed the soul was everlasting, that after death it might return to another body as part of its continuing refinement. One of the most notable figures to champion reincarnation in this era was Origen of Alexandria, both a theologian and a philosopher steeped in the arcane wisdom of Egypt, Greece, and the Middle East. He asserted that the soul was eternal, not a one-time creation, and that its existence stretched across multiple lifespans. In his seminal text, De Principiis, on first principles, Origen explains how a soul, upon leaving its current form, could reincarnate until it reached full purification. In his view, reincarnation functioned as a cosmic progression, a chance for the spirit to polish away imperfections and ultimately unite with the divine. This was no harsh sentence, but an opportunity to learn and evolve, mirroring the broader metaphysical justice present in older traditions. Origen believed that this cycle of rebirth, with its repeated lessons and second chances, fit seamlessly into Christ's teachings on redemption and spiritual cleansing. Over the first several centuries, these Christian teachings wove together elements from diverse philosophies, many of which included ideas about reincarnation. Early ecclesiastical texts show the topic did spark debate, but it wasn't outright dismissed from all corners. Then came a decisive moment in the 6th century, the Council of Constantinople. This influential gathering possessed both the religious and political might to sculpt the trajectory of Christian doctrine, and it was here that, for reasons extending beyond pure theology, the concept of reincarnation was effectively banished. Emperor Justinian, aided by his formidable wife Theodora, spearheaded an extensive campaign to strip away any notion of multiple lifetimes from accepted Christianity. Justinian's desire to unify the empire under a single doctrinal umbrella dovetailed with the Church's ambition to centralize the quest for salvation. Reincarnation, implying that souls manage their own spiritual evolution over multiple incarnations, threatened the Church's role as sole mediator of redemption. After all, if believers had more than one lifetime to get it right, the institution's immediate grip on every aspect of salvation might weaken. With Theodora's unwavering support, Justinian convened the Second Council of Constantinople in 553 AD. Guided by the emperor's will, this assembly declared reincarnation incompatible with Christian orthodoxy. The motivations were hardly subtle. Reincarnation gave individuals too much autonomy in achieving purity, and lessened the urgent need for a formal gatekeeper to the afterlife. The political pressure was intense, and even prominent clerical opponents felt compelled to conform or risk condemnation. Origen was labeled a heretic, and his works that advocated reincarnation fell into disfavor. In the end, official anathemas were pronounced, and with them the concept of multiple earthly sojourns was effectively exiled from mainstream Christian thought. Yet questions linger. Is it possible the original biblical texts contained fragments hinting at reincarnation, which were later downplayed or interpreted differently to meet ecclesiastical mandates? Some passages, when read with an open mind, suggest the soul's potential for returning. One common example is Matthew 17:10-13, where Jesus tells the disciples that Elijah has already come, implying John the Baptist served as Elijah's return to pave the way for the Messiah. This would have been a natural deduction for early readers who recognized the spirit of Elijah manifesting again. Another intriguing moment is recorded in John 9:1-25. When Jesus' followers see a man who was blind from birth, they ask, "Who sinned, this man or his parents, that he was born blind?" This question makes little sense outside of a belief that the man might have existed in a prior state capable of sin. Instead of dismissing the premise outright, Jesus reframes the question, offering a broader lesson on divine works. Additionally, in John 3:3-7, Jesus engages Nicodemus about the necessity to be born again, underscoring a spiritual rebirth that exceeds a single earthly existence. While some interpret this as metaphorical transformation, others view it as a veiled acknowledgement of the soul's repeated chances to undergo genuine growth and awakening. In each of these verses, the notion of soul transformation resonates, hinting at an underlying acceptance that the soul's journey extends beyond a single lifetime. Despite being omitted or marginalized in some Western traditions, reincarnation reemerged vigorously in modern spirituality, largely in response to our collective search for meaning and a more expansive view of destiny. Today, amid a relentless pace of living, it offers a gentler perspective, an ongoing progression that fosters soul development over multiple lifespans, rather than confining salvation to just one brief window. This more gradual approach contrasts with the fear-based narrative of eternal damnation or eternal reward. Instead, the soul is on a patient path of self-discovery and perfection. Westerners re-encountered reincarnation mostly through Eastern philosophies, Hinduism and Buddhism, where it is a foundational concept. Thinkers like Alan Watts and spiritual luminaries such as the Dalai Lama and Swami Vivekananda championed the viewpoint that birth, death, rebirth is a liberating cycle, one that ultimately leads individuals to deeper self-awareness and universal compassion. In these schools of thought, one's karma fundamentally weaves the tapestry of future lives, underscoring our interconnectedness with each other and the natural world. Over the years, this principle took root in Western culture. Rebirth, once deemed alien, gradually gained acceptance as a portal to understanding the multi-layered nature of life. On a psychological level, reincarnation has been studied by reputable researchers. Dr. Ian Stevenson, for instance, documented numerous children's recollections of prior lifetimes, findings that sometimes correlated with verifiable facts about deceased individuals they should have had no way of knowing. Past life regression therapy, popularized by the psychiatrist Brian Weiss, suggests that exploring hidden memories from potential earlier incarnations can alleviate trauma, phobias, or emotional burdens with unclear origins in a single lifespan. Transpersonal psychology has also embraced the concept, positing that unconscious recollections from past lives may shape our emotional terrain today. Ultimately, reincarnation remains a deep riddle, captivating some, unsettling others, but consistently provoking fresh questions about who we are. Many see the idea of multiple lives as a golden thread woven through the tapestry of spiritual awakening, each incarnation another step in our unfolding relationship with the divine. Others remain unconvinced, finding it incompatible with the Christian worldview they grew up with. However, reincarnation is not a dogma to adopt blindly. Rather, it stands as a spiritual doorway, inviting each person to reflect on the possibility that we're all on a long and intricate journey, seeking wholeness. In the end, it may not matter whether the soul is destined to reincarnate through countless lifetimes or simply exists here for a fleeting moment. What truly counts is how we choose to live right now with authenticity, compassion, and consciousness. Are we nurturing empathy? Are we growing in wisdom? Are we acting with integrity and love? Because whether we're part of an unending cycle or just a brief spark in time, our purpose is shaped by the way we live each day. Thank you for joining me on this exploration.